Good morning, everyone. I want to say a special good morning to my constituents of Central Westmoreland. I'm going to begin by speaking really on housing. And as Dr. Campbell mentioned, each member of parliament was given an allocation of $10 million. What I want to break down to residents is the minimum we're supposed to give each person is 100,000, and that really means that we can only assist a maximum of 100 people in the constituency. And our constituency is the largest when it comes down to registered voters with over 52,000, which actually means we should have over 80,000 people living in the constituency. So we know it's a huge constituency, and assisting 100 people from the government grant is simply inadequate, as you will recognize. The reason we got so much damage in Hurricane Melissa with regards to our housing stock is the same land tenure issue. So because most people don't own the land, they tend to build temporary structures that can be moved if necessary. So most persons are afraid of building permanent structures because if the owner comes for the land, then they will have to leave. A lot of this land is government land, as was said by Dr. Campbell just now. And the government has to use this opportunity to create an environment where people can actually own that piece of land where they can build permanent structures. We think about 10,000 persons or more were affected by Hurricane Melissa. And when I say affected, I mean total destruction plus damage to roofs, major damage I'm talking about. And as I said, this is because of the type of housing that we have in our constituency. And this is something we have to fix in the short and medium term as we move forward. The immediate needs of the constituency as we speak, we have been getting another assistance with regards to food, water, tarpaulins, and stuff like that. But the need has really shifted to housing material because every community we visit now to hand out food packages, people are asking the same question. When will the housing material grants start? When will people start seeing people getting material to fix their structures? So the need that we have now, which I think is the most immediate and short-term need now, is actually to get the materials in so persons can start rebuilding. Some persons have started on their own, family, friends, assisting communities, helping each other, but a lot of people are still there looking at each other, not knowing which angle to turn, not knowing where to do because they really can't afford to start. And these are the people we have to look for. And I know the assessment is going on now, but there are thousands of residents who are just there wondering where the help will come from. And as I said, the government must step in here because it will take the efforts of the government in a significant way for us to get people back on track to the lives they were living before Hurricane Melissa. They, we also have a road crisis, and I must add the bridge crisis to it. There's a particular bridge in the Frome area where the road was cut away, and that has compromised the bridge. It's a main road going from Savlamar to Granger, and we have to look into that immediately. Most of the roads were bad before Hurricane Melissa, but they have gotten worse. And it is causing a lot of traffic pileup in some areas because the road is so bad. So we actually need the representatives from the government also to ensure that things are put in place so we can start some immediate works on these particular areas that we have so many issues. We speak also of the shelters that we have now. We still have a few shelters open, and the issue, as was stated by Dr. Campbell, is that leaving the shelters, they really have nowhere to go. So the government needs to put something in place where people know the shelters. They might have to set up temporary structures for in the meantime. But something must be done because people cannot leave the shelters without knowing where they're going. They would not be there if they had somewhere else to go. So this is a serious issue that we're facing as we speak. The distribution that we're seeing so far, and I spoke of it in Parliament a couple of weeks ago when helicopter went down in Landale and the members of the government in the area were called on to come because they were on spot before everybody else. I spoke of it, the Prime Minister dismissed what I said, but what I said was repeated twice since he spoke. And the most recent occurrence was this week when at an activist, a known JLP activist premises, that was where the distribution was done. And we have to look at how we are doing these things. I don't know who came up with that idea, who thought this would look like a good idea to have the food packages being distributed from that location, but was obviously a terrible idea. And we're saying that if you're going to be distributing any package at all, there is a representative in the constituency that you should contact and should assist with the coordination of these things. Whenever we are going out to do distribution, everybody we see in the communities, we give packages. We're not looking at who is PNP or JLP or no P. We're in a crisis situation and the government needs to act in that way. I get the feeling that the government still does not realize that we are in a crisis. But the crisis we're in, we need to understand that people are people. We're Jamaicans and we must treat people as Jamaicans. The gaps before I close between what is needed and what we have gotten. I stated earlier that we have mostly gotten packages with food, water, stuff like that from mostly private donors. The only assistance we have gotten from the government was the $3 million that was mentioned by Dr. Campbell earlier. Every other assistance with regards to food, packages, and water have come from private donors. We have to thank all of these persons who have been coming out. There have been major organizations, like, for example, GEM that was mentioned earlier, but there have been numerous private individuals who have come into the parish. Some of them are from the parish, some are not, but they have lent a helping hand, and the residents of the constituency have been truly appreciative of what has been done so far. So just in closing, I just want to say Central Westmoreland needs the assistance. I know Dr. Campbell said he was the worst hit, but I would beg to differ because Central was equally hit, I think. And if you look at the stretch coming down from White House, after leaving Eastern Westmoreland in Bluefields, the entire stretch coming to Ferris looks the same way. And if you turn going to Montego Bay, the entire waterworks looks the same way as White House and Belmont. So it was total devastation in the constituency. And as I said, it's the largest constituency when it comes down to the amount of people, which means that we need special attention. And we're asking everybody who is listening to this press conference that we need as much attention as we can possibly get. So I'm going to say to the residents of the constituency, the whole firm, we will do whatever we can to assist the process. And you can rest assured that your member of parliament will do anything possible to get back on track to where it was before Hurricane Melissa. I thank you.
Thank you. Hear from the Member of Parliament from Western Westmoreland about the devastation